Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I show you immediately a picture and you will tell me, Beppe, do you want to focus on the goal of Dusan Vlahovic? The second one, yes. But you are probably looking at the movement of Dusan. Some people will look at the movement of Teun Koopmeiners with that fantastic assist, the assist of a superior player, and you're probably right. But no, I'm focusing on the other man there, on Kalulu, the number 15 of Juve. Look where he is. Ragazzi, I will tell you how we went from a boring 0-0, a toothless Juventus that was again not dangerous, to a beautiful, victorious Juventus 3-0 against Genoa. All the secret with heat maps, with stats, with etc. in today's video. That is the day after Genoa 0, Juventus 3. Ragazzi, I continue telling you, because you are probably missing it, but you can't miss it. For the people that are living in UK, OneFootball and Serie A, they partner for season 24-25, offering you the games that you can watch in real time. You can watch it on your PC, you can watch them on your smart TV, you can watch them on smartphone. I started to receive the message from the people that said, Beppe, we trust you. We know that the link is into the description and we will try it where you can have 3 formula or pick the game that you want, or the team pass where you can watch all the games of Serie A from Juventus, for example, or another team, don't do it, or the season pass where you can see all the games, and you need to do it. People in UK, you have the opportunity to watch all the games of Serie A for really a cheap price. Test it out, do it, and you will be really happy. And you will tell me then on the channel, Beppe, you were totally correct. OneFootball Serie A, they did a fantastic job. Now that we said that, I don't want to start immediately speaking you about the game, but I want to speak to Dusan Vlahovic, because yesterday, between the first and the second half, before him scoring a brace, I said to the people that were starting to criticize him, don't criticize him. He doesn't deserve the criticism today, because he's actually doing what he can. And today, if we want to blame some people, blame a team, blame Thiago Motta, but not Dusan, because he's doing the movements that he needs to do. Unfortunately, the balls are not arriving to him. Juventus needs to assist him better. And I was taking his defense. I predicted also the brace of Dusan Vlahovic. I was extremely happy. Grazie Dusan. That did a really beautiful game yesterday. But there was one thing that I didn't like from Dusan. And I didn't see it. I didn't notice it while we were real live. His celebration after the second goal and also the post-game words interview of Dusan. And no, because what does he do? After scoring that second goal, he goes to, I don't know where, and he goes with silence. Blah, 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 blah. People are speaking, people are blah, 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 blah. I didn't see it live, otherwise I would have reacted immediately, because I don't like it. I really don't like these kinds of things, these kinds of reaction after a lot of criticism, some correct, some probably exaggerated, from all the people. You go there after 2 goals against Genoa. I don't like it, especially if you go then to the microphones after the game with the people are speaking and I am scoring. The people, they can't wait to criticize you, because if you don't score, you are the worst one of the world. If you score, you are the best one of the world. And no, not on this channel, Dusan. On this channel, we are not there to say you are the worst striker of the world or not the best striker of the world. We don't appreciate that. I think that we need a bit of balance. We supporters, we content creators, the media, the papers, but also you, Dusan. Because I don't like these kinds of behaviors. First, you show continuity. Game after game after game after game. First, you show us that you are able to get out of difficult situations. First, you show us the real potential that you have, and then if you want a small reaction, why not? But it's not unnecessary, because what are you showing with these kind of reaction? That the people that are talking bad about you, some people that love you, but especially the people that do not love Juve, that it is affecting you. And you are not in the right position today to react. Just play your game, focus on your game, on the field, not off the field. That's at least what I wanted to say, also because we can also open a debate if we really want to, because I see today a Juve tweet that is saying, pressure, what pressure? Pressure, what pressure? And that's the question I asking myself. If you have a full Luigi Ferraris yesterday, full of supporters of Genoa that are whistling you, criticizing you, maybe even going with a laser, do you have also the same pressure level? Are you able to manage that pressure that you have on a 0-0 that you are obliged to score? Question mark. Big question mark. So, I don't know. Anyway, the funny thing, because then we'll speak well about Vlahovic, because today he deserves to be spoken well about. It was really funny, because I was seeing at a certain moment a stat from Opta that is reporting that Thiago Motta goes with 483 minutes without conceding a goal since the start of the season, beating the record in the era of the 3 points. Fantastic. But you know what was funny? That we all wanted to change the coach to have a more offensive football, more entertaining football, and actually we changed, and that's where we beat the record, not of the goals scored, but the record of the non-goals conceded, which was really, really beautiful. Anyway, we are actually the best one in the era of the 3 points. If we want to do the total Serie A, we need to go back to Cagliari that had 712 minutes without conceding a goal since the opening of Serie A. It was on 66-67, so it's a really, really, really long time ago. If you want to beat the all-time record of not conceding a goal in Serie A, we need to go back to the 15-16 Juventus of Max Allegri with the BBC, that by the way yesterday were at the wedding of Gianluigi Buffon, 974 minutes, which was really, really huge. Anyway, what Juventus did we see yesterday? We saw again the same typical Juventus, a Juventus with full ball possession, again 66% ball possession, a bit the continuum of the other games, Napoli, etc. We see a dominant Juve in ball possession. We see a Juve that really want the ball. You remember the words of Thiago Motta, we do our game, we want to play our game, and you see that DNA that is really there every single game. Again, also with that pass accuracy, what a day and night transformation from the Juve from the past, and this Juve always hitting the 90-91% pass accuracy, and all beautiful, all well, things that we were wishing. But again, in the first half, we see the momentum of a Juve for the entire game, always with the ball, but totally toothless, absolutely not dangerous. We see that there is no peak. It's always a Juventus that is quite sterile with that ball, boom, from here to there. We try in verticality. It looks like a robot Juve that is doing what we need to do, but absolutely unable to take some initiatives. And that's a problem, because we know that we will always play 75%, 80% of the games against low block defense that will only think about defending ourselves. We saw, again, exactly the same kind of heat maps in the first half, where Kenan is extremely wide there. Weston McKennie that is actually taking his spot. If it's not McKennie in other games, it was Koopmeiners. But again, Koopmeiners on the right side. Nico Gonzalez super wide on the right side. And this is what we see. But that's where we have one that is taking an initiative. And it's not the player. It is Thiago Motta. Because he doesn't do it between first and second. He's actually doing it at the 38-39 minute. Where he's asking Kalulu to interchange that position with Danilo. We know it in that first half. Danilo is quite high on the pitch, but it's not danger. It's not the Danilo of 5 years ago, of 3 years ago. It's a Danilo that was playing his first game of the season as a starter, that doesn't have the power in his leg to go up, because then he needs to go back. And a 33 years old Danilo can't do it. And that's where you have a totally wasted Kalulu. A Kalulu that is there as a center back, pairing Bremer. Fantastic Bremer again yesterday. A wall, a fantastic wall. But he's totally wasted. Thiago Motta is asking him to change. That's where Juventus at the end of the first half start to be really dangerous. Because we are putting one man on top, a superiority there on the wing. And you know, it's not only on the wing that we are starting to be better. Because I will show you different things. In that first half, we have an equal game of attacks of Juve. 38%, a bit more on the left, 27 centrally, 34 in the right side of the field. And you see that at the end of the second half, that second half is saying us 24 only on the left, 42% on the right side of the field, 34 centrally. So we are shifting the game thanks to the movement of Kalulu. Look at the second goal. Look at that second goal. That position of Kalulu there, super wide on the field. What is he doing? It's not only Kalulu, but he's actually making sure that Koopmeiners is way more central, but also Nico Gonzalez and a Kenan Yildiz. Look at that triangle of players there. That's really important. That's only thanks to the movement of Kalulu. But it's also on the other things. That movement of Kalulu on that 3-0 Conceição, incredible yesterday how we entered. Look at how many players we have there. It is Dusan Vlahovic, it is Koopmeiners. Look at that, they are in the box because they were able to be freed up by Kalulu. Then you will tell me, Beppe, but it all happened not because of Kalulu, it happened because of that penalty. That penalty that totally changed the game, and you're right. But not only, guys. It's not like Gazzetta that is saying the winter gave them a hand. Again, controversial. really sad title by Gazzetta dello Sport. No, it's actually, if you're looking really in detail, that movement immediately at the 46th minute, you see that thanks to Kalulu being on the right side, how many players do we have there up front? Look at Rui, that is there in the entry of the first box. Kenan Yildiz, closer. Koopmeiners, closer. Vlahovic, there on top. Look at the position of Weston McKennie. Look at the position of Nico Gonzalez. Look at all these players there. They were there immediately. The goal would have come. It was not a penalty. It would have been 5 minutes later anyway, but it was a total different Juve. Thanks not to subbing in out players, because we needed fresh legs or new. No. We needed the same men doing something a bit different. And that's what we are really seeing now with the heat maps. So I hope that you really see what we are doing. The heat maps of Kalulu in the first half. Where is he? There, in the middle. Look at the heat map of Kalulu in that second half. Really wide on the right side of the field. And by consequence, you have a Koopmeiners that in that first half was really using that position on the right side. Where thanks to Kalulu, look where he is in the second half. Look where he is in the second half, way more central, tending a bit more on the left. Look at the position of Weston McKennie. First half, he was taking a position that you are expecting Kenan Yildiz to take, or a Koopmeiners. Look at where he's positioned in the beginning of the second half. There. So we move from that 4-1-4-1 to actually two midfielders, Fagioli, Weston McKennie, so that Yildiz can go central, and Koopmeiners can find his position, and Nico Gonzalez can go a bit more centrally on the field. And there you see indeed the position in the second half of Kenan Yildiz that was not anymore on the wing, but really central as a kind of number 10 partner for Dusan Vlahovic. Yesterday he didn't do a great game, Kenan, but it's not that is important. It's the movement that we were doing actually with the entire team just by moving Kalulu. And you see it with an overview of the tactical pad. What do we see here? All the movement that has been created to arrive actually to a Juventus much more dangerous and able to score 1, 2, 3 goals. We go from 3 attempts with 0 on target in the first half to in total 12. So 9 attempts in the second half with 3 goals, 3 on target, 3 goals. When we go on target, we score. And you also see that Juventus was looking less crosses than in previous game. And who is doing these crosses? Well, it's Kalulu with 3, it's Jonas Rui with 2, you have Koopmeiners, Gonzalez and Yildiz with 2. So you see less crosses, and the players that are there on top of that ranking are doing the cross are the players that need to do these crosses. We don't see Danilo there. Why? Because you see that difference of what I told you, a Kalulu with more muscles there, more fresh there, that is able to go up. And that's an important stat that we see in the crosses. What do we also see in a huge big heat map of all the players from the first half? We see a Juventus that is a bit more up there on the left, a bit more present there on the left, and that is trying to enter, but it's totally blocked. While in that second half, you clearly see that Juventus is playing on the right side. And look at that beautiful line that is saying, we invite you to enter. We invite you to enter into that box. And this time there is a link. While in that first one there is absolutely no link. Here you see a beautiful link to find Dusan Vlahovic or whoever is there as a 9. Tuttosport is not speaking only about Dusan Vlahovic, only about Juventus, but they are saying smiles, because that's how Juventini are waking up this morning. Smiles and champions, with a picture of Dusan and from Chico Conceição. What a performance of Chico. What a performance of Chico Conceição. When he entered, he changed totally the game also with that unpredictability, that magic, the dribbles that we were all waiting. I agreed with the ratings of Gazzetta, even if I think they were a bit harsh on certain players, but 6.5 to Thiago Motta, 7 for Vlahovic. When you score a brace, of course, you are man of the match. I can understand it. The worst one, Rui with 5.5. They also put there Danilo with a 5.5. If I need to choose, I will go for Danilo, but it's true that it was not a wow performance of Rui. On the other side, I need to say he did what he needed to do. A bit shy, it's true, a bit shy for his first start at Juve. Could have done maybe better, maybe not, but the movements is also there. The one that is, thanks to his movements, creating that possibility for Yildiz for his penalty. But why I don't agree with Gazzetta dello Sport is how they are actually describing the game of Thiago Motta. They're saying first half, that is a bit sad, and it's true, but then they are saying it's a bit forced. the start of Rui. It's good to have these players, to launch them, the youth players, but you also need to protect them. Guys, I don't know which was the best game ever to start Rui. Genoa without a lot of their starters, a Genoa that played to win the week, a Genoa without their supporters, a Juve that could do some rotations, especially to let Cambiaso breathe. We know it, there is meritocracy who deserves in the training, in the week they play. I think there was no better game to play Rui, to test him, to let him play, to make sure that he's cancelling the fact that he was a bit shy in that first game. So I don't agree with them, with Gazzetta. It's a total no sense. And also I don't agree when he's saying in the second half is Dusan Vlahovic that is helping you with that penalty scores and then you know how to change the team. No, I don't think so, because all what we analyzed in the beginning, it is Thiago Motta that is changing his Juventus to actually make sure that then the team is performing, is also finding Dusan Vlahovic. So I don't agree with the analysis of Gazzetta dello Sport. Corriere dello Sport is saying La Sveglia, the wake up of, on one side, Lautaro that yesterday scored 2 goals and Dusan Vlahovic with 2 goals. La Sveglia, and then you see Lautaro screaming, a screamer from Lautaro, and then Vlahovic is a dream. More than Dusan Vlahovic a dream, I want to say it's beautiful, a beautiful Serie A. Seriously, of course, I want Juve to win, and as we speak, Juve is first because Torino lost against Lazio 3-2. Pay attention to Lazio from Baroni, that are now at 10 points. But luckily, Torino is over with that first spot. It was too much. Already 5 games and seeing them at the first spot was a bit too much. But it's a beautiful Serie A with the result, etc., with Juve first as we speak, waiting for Napoli that can surpass us, waiting for Empoli that can reach us. But at the moment, it's a really beautiful Serie A that I have to say that I will really want to focus on. Now, of course, it is Sunday. Tomorrow we speak again a bit of a Serie A, but we enter the Champions League week, where on Wednesday we are playing against Leipzig in their home. Leipzig that yesterday won 4-0, so we don't have to underestimate them. I predicted again a beautiful game, an open game without a Genoa, Empoli, Napoli that will only think to defend themselves, will go towards a team that will want to attack. Then Juve, it's a big test for Juve. This one is really a big test because not only there will be an open game, but this time also an open game against a strong team, because Leipzig is really strong with a really great striker that is Benjamin Sesko, one of the targets of Juve for the future. Ragazzi, I hope you enjoyed that day after video with a maximum of like. That's what I'm requesting you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Grazie, forza, Juve.